There's that record you wanted.
Oh, Brill! It's a great record, this.
Yeah, well, you better warn your friends that we won't be selling records in future, apparently. Well, that's the rumour anyway. I mean, not that I know anything, because I'm never told anything.
You're not going to be selling records? Oh, you mean this video thing? Oh.
Jenny, I think you better be making tracks. It's 1:20.
Is it? Oh, look. I'll see you later.
Try, love.
Bye.
Mavis, how long are you going to be keeping this up?
I'm sure I don't know what you're referring to.
That, what you've just said, and the way you say it. Honestly, Mavis, when you take umbrage, you're the world's worst. You get a grievance between your teeth and you worry it like a dog with an old shoe. I've told you, I don't know how many times, this video scheme, well, that's exactly what it is, and that's all it is, just a scheme at present.
Well, I just think you could have mentioned it, that's all.
I was going to mention it when there was anything definite to mention.
Oh, I see. You were just going to drop it on me when it was all cut and dried.
Oh, it's no use talking to you at the moment.
No, well, you and Alan have made that painfully obvious.
You don't think we'd have been better off with a fruit machine?
I think I've cracked it. See, what you do is you press that one first, then you press that one.
And nothing happened.
I'll have to have a look at the instruction book again.
Do you know, I bet secretly you've always wanted one of these, haven't you?
No, what I really wanted was a train set.
Hey, Mavis, come and have a look at this.
What's this?
It's a new till. I got it through a contact in the trade. A marvellous thing. It's electronic.
Well, I don't know how to operate one of those things.
Well, neither do I. But it's all in there.
I can't turn my back for 5 minutes these days without something new happening in this shop.
Once you get the hang of it, it'll make life a lot easier.
Ah, but who for? That's what I'd like to know.
Everybody, including you.
Especially you.
Oh, thank you very much. Very good of you to go to so much trouble on my behalf.
Hello. Here I am, Mavis. This is Fairclough.
Derek.
Afternoon.
I'd like to take my lunch hour now, Rita, if it's all right with you.
Yes, of course it
If
is.
it's all right with you, Mr. Bradley.
I said it was.
Oh, yes, but I don't want to go breaking any new regulations that I haven't been told about. Come on, Derek. Oh, we're lunching in the flat.
Are we? We usually lunch out.
Yes, well, today we're not. Come on.
Excuse me.
Ah, I think I know where we went wrong.
Yeah, I think I do and all.
Really, very nice indeed.
So, anyway, what are you going to do?
Well, straight back to the office, I'm afraid. They seem to fall apart when I'm not there. So
No, Derek, I mean, what are you going to do about my problem?
Me?
Well, I haven't got anybody else to turn to, and I'm at my wit's end. That's the only reason I'm consulting you.
I keep telling you, Mavis, in my opinion, you're worrying unnecessarily. Probably.
What with Alan Bradley practically taking over? I mean, he's thrown out the records and putting a new video library, and he's thrown out the old till. What's he going to get rid of next?
Well, I'm afraid that's something we all have to live with in today's economic climate, Mavis. That fear of redundancy.
Redundancy? Oh, do you really think he's going to get rid of me then?
Oh, I didn't say that. Oh, it might not come to that. I'm sure you're very well thought of. Now, look, I really must go.
Oh, isn't that typical of you? You have the slightest little bit of a problem and I'm expected to drop everything and rally round, and here am I, probably going to lose my job and flat, and all you do is rush back to the office.
Oh, come on, Mavis, that's hardly fair.
Well, I think it is. I mean, look at Rita. Her boyfriend throws his weight about her boyfriend, stands up for her, stands by her when she needs help.
Just a minute. Yes, boyfriend, you said, yes. But I'm just a friend, Mavis. There's a big difference.
Well, I don't think so. And I don't think Angela would think so if she found out about us. Boyfriend is what she'd call you.
I never thought I'd hear threats from you, Mavis.
I never...
Not from you. When I emptied my heart to you, when I poured out all my feelings, made myself vulnerable, I never thought the day would come when you would stoop to blackmail.
Blackmail?
I'm hurt, Mavis. I'm hurt more than I can say to hear you making threats. I'm hurt. Yes, and disappointed. I thought more of you.
I wasn't threatening, Derek. I wouldn't tell Angela or anybody. Honestly, you know that I wouldn't. You just misunderstood me.
Well, Let's just forget it then, shall we? I don't know if I can, but I shall try.
I'm sorry, Derek. Oh, see? You've got me apologising to you, and for why? Because you've let me down. I mean, it's just one way, our relationship, Derek. I've given you take.
Oh, that's a cruel thing to say, Mavis. And anyway, it's not true. We're not all the same, Mavis. You seem to forget that for some people, taking is their way of giving.
Well, I mean, all I'm asking, Derek, is your help and advice and sympathy.
Well, look, if it'll make you happy, I shall have a word with Alan Bradley, man to man, and sort out exactly where you stand.
Will you, Derek? Will you really?
Yes, I just said I will.
Yes, I know, but will you, really?
Now, I really do have to get back to the office. Bye, Mavis.
There you are. See, you've got the hang of it.
Yes, well, I was quite happy with the old till.
Yes, but we're not stood here all day to be happy, Mavis. I mean, we're supposed to be earning a living. There's got to be change.
Yes, well, I hope so. This has got to last me till payday.
Oh, very sharp.
Well, you got it a lot quicker with the old till, and I don't suppose you'll be spending your money on renting video films, will you?
Well, no. We haven't got a machine at our house.
Oh, dear.
See you now.
Try, love.
Aye. See?
Yes, but a lot of people do have videos, Mavis. Anyway, we're going to be giving it a try. Look, I don't know why you're getting so worked up. Take it from me. Nobody's getting at you.
Oh, I know, but I'm sure you're not,
And
Rita.
neither is Alan, so stop worrying.
Well, I can't help it, Rita. Do worry. That's why I asked Derek round here. I mean, you all need somebody to lean on.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't lean too hard on Derek. He might fall over.
Yes, well, he did say that he would tackle Alan for me.
He what?
Well, I can't talk to him, Rita. I mean, he doesn't listen to a word I say, but, well, they do listen to another man, don't they?
It's nothing to do with Derek, Mavis. And if he goes sticking his oar in, I can tell you now, Alan won't be best pleased.
Oh, well, I shouldn't worry, Rita. I mean, he promised me faithfully that he would talk to him, but, well, knowing Derek, I'm sure he won't.
There we are.
Oh, Tyler.
No, this one's on me. Evening.
Evening.
And a half for me, please. Don't take his money.
No, love, it's all right with me, whoever pays.
Right, well, cheers then.
I was hoping to catch you. I wanted a quiet word.
All right, and what about?
That's £1.11, love.
Oh, there we are. I think we'd be better over there. Don't want any embarrassment, do we?
What do you mean, embarrassment?
Well, I gather the cabin is, shall we say, under new management these days, if you take my meaning.
No, I'm not with you.
Well, how can I put this? The manager remains the same, but on the domestic front there's been a takeover bid, resulting in a new chairman of the board. Your good self.
But that's nobody's business but mine and Rita's.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Don't get me wrong, old man. But in business, and I've seen it 1,000 times, when a new man comes in at the top, the troops down the line get anxious.
I haven't a clue what you're talking about.
Women. Women in general, Mavis and Rita, I dare say, in particular. You see, they're not like us. They get frightened by anything new.
Such as what?
Well, here you are. You've taken over Rita, as it were. You're taking an interest in the business. And quite right. Why shouldn't you?
What's your interest in all this?
Representing Mavis. She sees you weighing up the business, planning new enterprises, and quite rightly, you can't stand still in business these days. And she gets worried. Well, I keep telling her it's unnecessary. Mind you, old man, I don't think you're on a winner with this video scheme. The competition's wicked.
You seem to know a hell of a lot about my private affairs.
Oh, don't worry. At the office, they say discretion is my middle name. Incidentally, have you thought at all about expanding the stationery side? Office supplies. It's a big growth area. I could get you top discounts on all the lines. In fact, I took the liberty of preparing a price list
I've
for
had
you.
enough of this. You come in here poking your nose into my business and Mrs. Fairclough's business, none of which is anything to do with you. Just because your bit on the side works for her doesn't give you a licence to interfere, you know.
Look, there's no need to
You
take
better
that
watch
tone.
your step, pal. And Mavis better watch hers, too. Going around broadcasting confidential information to all and sundry. I can have a word with her.
No, look, you've got it all wrong.
It's not me that's got it all wrong, pal.
He said what? A bit on the side? Oh, I don't believe it. Well, it's scandalous. I mean, I could sue him even if it was said in private, but to say it in a public house... Well, I hope you didn't let it go unchallenged.
Oh, I told him straight. I didn't mince my words. We weren't far off blows. Luckily, I controlled myself. But the man has a terrible temper. He could give Angela a run for her money in that respect.
Oh, I'm sorry I involved you now, Derek. It must have been awful.
It was. Most unpleasant. But you were right to expect my support. And obviously I made my point.
Oh, I'm sure you did, because he was quite reasonable this morning, though. How long that'll last, because, well, I mean, is a real Jekyll and Hyde sort of a character.
Well, only time will tell. But I think we can chalk this one up as mission accomplished. So, if you're free for lunch in about an hour or so, I'd say we earned a little celebration, wouldn't you?
Why not?
And as my little encumbrance...
Pardon, you are?
Angela. She's tied up with pin positions. It's something they do up at the golf club. Maybe I could come down tonight. We could have a quiet drink and one of our talks.
Oh, well...
Oh, Derek.
Oh, hello.
Has Alan finished his measuring?
Yes, he said he'd be at home. He's working out the shelving plans and so forth.
All peace and harmony then?
Yes, comparatively.
Astounding, isn't it, what can be achieved? In the field of staff problems. By a little plain speaking and common sense.
I'm not with you, Derek.
Yes, I told you, don't you remember? Derek was going to have a word with Alan. Well, he did, and that seems to have cleared the air.
Oh, well, that's good then.
Mind you, it's fortunate for Mr. Bradley that I'm not a man who's easily shaken.
Oh?
Well, I could have found his tone rather offensive. But I kept my cool. That's the first rule when you're handling hot-tempered types. Well, yeah, elementary psychology, in fact. If the other chap starts shouting and cursing, you can be pretty sure you've got him rattled.
Derek, what exactly do you mean, shouting and cursing?
Well, I mean what I say. I was told to watch my step. He used a term about Mavis I hardly dare repeat. And then there were threats. Well, quite honestly, I was very worried coming down here today. But perhaps I shouldn't have interfered. Mavis asked for support, and I felt honour-bound to give it. I mean, if there are to be changes round here in respect of what's going on and who's running things, then Mavis is entitled to know her position. And if a friend, can't make a polite inquiry on her behalf without being bullied and sworn at, then it's a pretty poor state of affairs. I'll see you later, Mavis.
Hey, by the way, Derek popped in this morning.
Oh, not again. What was his excuse this time? You really ought to warn Mavis, you know. I mean, apart from being married, the man's a prize pillock.
Oh, he's harmless enough, really.
He's also a pest, and pushy with it. He started coming the Oracle in the Rovers last night. Had to choke him off.
I know. That's why he called in.
Did he?
Tell me something. You didn't really call Mavis his little bit on the side, did you?
What might have done? Well, it's no more than the truth, is it?
Well, they were both very upset.
Rita, the man's a clown. He was talking a load of rubbish, so I told him to mind his own business.
Oh, fair enough. I know he's a pain in the neck. But you do have a rough side to your tongue, Alan, you know.
Well, I'm no good at flannel or double talk.
Oh, come on now, own up. You can get round people if you have to.
Well, maybe. But when I tackle something, I tackle it head on.
I know,
don't
I
play
appreciate
games.
that.
But those two are playing games. They're not really with us, you know, on this earth. They're away in the woods somewhere looking for buttercups.
Oh, be fair. Mavis doesn't have much. Just a job and a flat.
And Derek.
And Derek, when the dreaded Angela is otherwise occupied at the golf club or whatever.
Maybe we ought to drop her a line, what do you think? Only joking. Anyway, I was all sweetness and light to Mavis this morning. I had her eating out of my hand. Then along comes Droopy Drawers with his tales of woe, and I'm the wicked Baron again.
Well, now he's done his little Sir Galahad act. Well, maybe they've got the message and won't pop in so often.
Well, I'll tell you, Rita, if he does, I'll have him.
Oh, shut up, you big bully. Shift them plans.
Oh. I'm board up here, you see, for posters and so on.
Oh,
Oh, do they provide the posters?
Oh, yeah, they're very good too, someone.
Is Miss Riley available?
Oh, well, it's her early night.
Yes, I know. I'm visiting her privately. I am expected.
Hello, Derek. Nothing wrong, is there?
No, of course not. I said I'd pop by if I was free for this evening, and it so happens I am.
I don't know, you married fellas, you're never indoors, are you? What's the excuse this time? I tell you what, you'll be all right when I get this video library going. That'll be a good excuse, that. Better than taking the dog for a walk, anyway.
Give over, Alan. A joke's a joke. Have mercy on the poor lad.
Look like birthday cards.
Birthday cards?
Yeah, well, there will be. Ah, that's from Emily Bishop, and that's Mavis.
Birthday? When?
Well, today, as a matter of fact.
Many happy I'm sorry, love, I didn't know.
Well, you couldn't know. I didn't tell you.
No, you didn't tell me either. Hey, dare I ask which one it is?
No, I lost count years ago.
Well, I wish you had told me. I tell you what, look, let's go out and celebrate, shall we? We go out for a meal tonight, eh?
Oh, no. Save your money for the video library. Hey, I tell you what, though. I mean, you're always bragging what a good coot you are because you've had to look after yourself. Why don't you prove it? Make a meal for us tonight.
Right, you're on. I'll make us something special.
Well, this solves the birthday present problem, Rita. I'll buy you some indigestion tablets.
We'll have the boxes displayed all along the shelves here, you see, so the punter will pick the one he wants,
Yeah?
bring it over to here where you will have the actual cassettes under the counter.
Excuse me for asking, but what time are you expecting to keep open to with this video library thing? I mean, I only ask because I do live upstairs, and you can hear everything from down here, so if there's people traipsing in and out and the door going...
Well, I thought about 8 o'clock, that's all. I mean, I reckon that if somebody wants a video and haven't come in by 8 o'clock, then they're not coming. How do you feel, Mavis, about standing in a couple of nights a week? I mean, the money will be all right, make it worth your while.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, well, I do early turn on the newspapers 3 or 4 mornings a week, so I don't really know. And then there's your social life.
Social life? What social life? I know. Now then, this dinner I'm cooking tonight. You wouldn't peel a few spuds for us, would you?
Oh, I get it. I'm going to be cook's dog's body, am I? Was wondering when you get to that.
Well, I wouldn't ask, but I want to get this painting finished.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
Oh, that's all I need, him.
I see you've got the handyman at it. That's the way. Get the ban of the house buckling too.
Is there something I can do for you, Derek?
No, I was in the area, you see. A couple of follow-up calls. Making sure my sales force are on their toes. Thought I'd pop in and see Mavis.
Well, I'm afraid you've missed her.
Oh, it's not her day off, is it?
No, I just let her go to the hairdresser's.
Oh, she never told me. Oh, well, I'll hang on for her.
Well, she could be another half hour yet.
That's all right, I'm in no hurry. You've missed a bit.
I know.
I wish I was handy. But anything like this, painting, joinery, I'm hopeless.
You amaze me.
Anything needing brains now, yes. Anything artistic even, I'm in my element. But I've often thought it must be useful to be more like you. This is all in aid of your video enterprise, I take it. Well, far be it from me, etc. But I have to tell you, you're on a glutted market. Office supplies now, the demand is there. Heavy industry's gone, of course. They call us the paper clip economy, don't they? Leisure, yes, but not video, if you'll be guided by me.
I wouldn't be guided by you if I was blind and you were an Alsatian dog.
No, I was merely trying to tell you...
I am sick of you telling me how to run my affairs.
No, only offering some friendly
Look,
advice.
I'm trying to get something done. I've got work to do. Now, if you've got time to kill, I suggest you go down to the library. We've got a nice little room there, you know, with magazines and newspapers.
There's no need to be offensive.
And when Mavis comes back, she's going to have work to do too. So she won't be able to stand around rabbiting to you. Oh, and another thing. Would you try and time your visits to be outside business hours?
Yes,
Thank you.
I can take a hint.
Good.
Well, you've done it now.
He gets on my wit, that fella.
I rather gathered that.
I'll do that. It's your birthday. You sit down and have a sherry.
Right, thank you, madam.
Right, we'll be eating in 20 minutes, and it's going to be fantastic.
Well, you might tell me what it is.
Shall we tell her? It's chicken in red wine sauce.
Oh, that sounds all right. You know, perhaps we should start having dinner parties and invite Mavis and Derek.
Don't say that, Rita, not even in jest.
Just testing, just testing. I'll get it.
I'll get back to my culinary masterpiece.
Right, you do that.
love, come in.
What's wrong?
I think you know very well what's wrong, Rita. I just had Derek on the phone. He was practically in tears telling me about the humiliating treatment he got in the shop this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I must admit there were a few words
Well, it was quite clear that you made him very unwelcome.
Well, you see, Alan was trying to get the painting.
Oh, I know all the details, Rita. I mean, Derek quite clearly thinks that you were getting at him. Well, it's obvious to me that the person you or Alan was getting at was me. Yes, you'd better hear this.
Come on, Mavis, don't be upset. Have a drink. Jenny, get Mavis again.
I will not have a drink. I've just say what I've come to say and then I'm going.
Oh, calm down, Mavis.
No, it's just one thing after another, Rita. You're just trying to push me out altogether. I mean, it's just one incident after another just trying to get rid of me. I mean, I'm treated like a second-class citizen in that shop. I know I should be saying all this to you, Alan. I quite understand.
I'm not trying to get at you, Mavis. And no, it's not me you should be talking to. It's Rita. It's Rita's business.
Oh, come on, love. I was hoping to have a nice, quiet birthday.
I will not be treated like that, Rita. As far as I'm concerned, you can start looking for another mug, because I've had quite enough. I shall get out of your way, and you can do what you want with the flat, and you can find somebody else to do my job. Well, aren't you going to say anything?
I think you said enough for everybody.
Right. Right. Well, that's settled then.
Let her go, love. Let her go. What? Thought you...
Hey, who do you know in Blackpool?
Oh, I could with me Uncle Sam. God love him. Do you know, he never forgets, but always gets it a day late. Still, he's kept busy.
Why, what does he do?
What does he do? He runs a laundrette. Any more questions?
Only one. Is he married?
No, he's a widower. Now, why the sudden fascination with me poor old Uncle Sam?
Well, I was just thinking if he was out like, then we could introduce him to Mavis. Because that's what she needs, you know.
What, laundrette?
No, a fella. See, that's what it's all about. Jealousy. Because you've got a fella and she hasn't.
Well, maybe she's got Derek.
Huh.
Yeah, see what you mean. Still, it's not funny.
No, it wasn't funny last night either, when she burst in and ruined your birthday dinner.
Oh, she didn't ruin it. It was very nice.
Well, it might have been but for any tantrums.
Hey, Jenny, I thank you to have more respect for Mavis, please. We've been friends a long time. You have to try and see it from her point of view.
Well, I would, if I knew what her point of view was. I mean, is it the video library she's objecting to? Me? Us? What?
I think all three.
Well, how'd you sort that little lot out, then?
Oh, hello, love. Hey, thank you for your card yesterday. Though nowadays I don't mind if people forget. I know the feeling.
Did you go somewhere nice?
No, Jenny and Alan cooked a special meal I didn't have to lift a finger.
Sounds good to me.
Well, it was, until Mavis arrived like the bad fairy at a christening. No, that's not fair.
Why? What happened?
Well, she managed to work herself up into a right old state. You know what she's like. She resents Alan being involved in the business, doesn't like any of his new ideas, and she's not pleased that he's not a fan of Derek's.
Who is?
Well, exactly. But she's determined to see it as a sort of devious campaign to get shut of her.
You wouldn't do that.
Well, of course I wouldn't want to, but she's making life very difficult for all of us.
Hello.
Mike's just dropped me off. He's gone to Goodman's and he said to tell you he'd be back about 11.
All right, thanks. Can't you talk to her? Tell her it's a lot of nonsense. She's just imagining things.
Well, it wouldn't stop her being jealous of Alan, which, as young Jenny rightly points out, is basically what it boils down to, unfortunately. Oh, it's Mavis we're talking about. Hit a sticky patch.
Well, I suppose it's understandable. I mean, the way I see it, she's become very dependent upon you over the years.
It was mutual love. I mean, when Len died, she was a tower of strength. But now... I mean, I've heard of the eternal triangle, but this is ridiculous, especially with me as the pivot.
Bye. Take any more of this, Emily. I shall have a breakdown.
No, of course you won't have a breakdown. Pull yourself together, Mavis. You're imagining problems where none exist.
Well, I'm not imagining those, am I? They're just shelves, for heaven's sake. They are the first steps in that man's campaign to oust me. He wants my job.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't. Why on earth would he?
Well, why not? I mean, he hasn't exactly got one of his own, has he? It would probably suit him very well to be living rent-free at Rita's and just putting in the odd few hours here when he feels like it.
What does she say?
Oh, she's completely under his thumb. She's dominated by him.
Oh, Rita's not the type to be dominated by anybody.
Well, why hasn't she mentioned it then? I mean, all morning and never so much as a please won't you reconsider what you said last night, Mavis. Oh, I played right into their hands, didn't I? She's probably waiting now for me to tell her when I'm going.
I think she's more likely hoping you'll forget all about it.
Forget? How can I forget with him banging and hammering away all day? I mean, he's only gone out now to get some more of them plug things to plug in the walls.
Well, I think it's very sad that you two should fall out after all this time.
Yes, well, we wouldn't have, would we, if it hadn't been for him?
Rita is entitled to have someone in her life, Mavis.
In her life, yes. But why does he have to be in mine as well? Interfering, being rude to my friends. He's trying to push me out in a dozen different ways.
Right, Mrs. 6 crates of videos. Where do you want them?
How's it going?
Oh, I'm nearly finished. I'll have that lot unpacked and out of your way by the end of the afternoon.
Good.
Any signs of a thaw?
No. I was even thinking of nipping back home and getting me thermal underwear.
Oh, it's no use. I'll have to tackle her head on. I was hoping she was going to say it was all a mistake.
Yeah, I rather think she wants you to say exactly the same thing. Would it help if I made myself scarce?
Well, when you finish what you've got to do, it's not something I'm exactly looking forward to doing.
Where I took myself off to this afternoon?
No.
I took myself off on the bus ride to St Mary's Park. You want to go?
What, at the beginning of March?
Best time. All little bulbs popping their heads up. Yes? Oh, daffodils, tulips, narcissus, all begin to show promise of spring. It's a real tonic.
Yes, I'm sure it is, Mr. Sugden. Now,
Give your spirits a lift, it would. And you look though you could do with your spirits lifting, young woman.
my spirits are fine, thank you, Mr. Sugden.
St Mary's Park, 30p. Get off at Moorside Road and walk back a bit.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sugden. I do know how to get to St Mary's Park.
Mavis, love, we'll have to talk.
I'm sorry, Rita. I've got to go upstairs and put the oven on.
Mavis, it's the first moment we've had to ourselves all day.
Well, I've invited Derek round for his tea, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, fine.
Well, that's not the impression I got yesterday. I was made to feel that he was definitely persona non grata in this establishment.
Look, what you do in your private life is your own affair.
And are you sure that Alan won't disapprove? I mean, I thought he might try to forbid me having my friend under the same roof as his precious video.
Oh, Mavis, love, come here. I was just plain balmy, ain't it? You and me not talking, all this aggro. And what's it all about, eh?
Men.
Quite. Men. And aren't we a right pair of twits for allowing ourselves to fall out over them?
Yes, but Alan's influencing you.
Oh, won't it same road as Derek's influencing you? You ask his advice, don't you?
Oh, yes.
And isn't that why you've invited him here tonight? So you can tell him what's been going off?
Yes, partly. But
what?
well, I don't take any notice of Derek. I mean, whatever he says doesn't affect you and me.
And neither does what Alan says.
Oh.
Oh, any improvements he suggests for the shop, fine. I mean, if it increases profit, I'd be daft not to listen. But it's got nothing to do with your position here. You and me have been a team a long time. Fairclough and Riley, like Marks and Sparks. Take more than a couple of fellas to split us up, won't it?
Oh, Rita, do you really mean that?
Now, first, you answer me this. Did you really mean what you said last night about leaving?
Hello, cabin. Mavis Riley speaking. Oh, hello, Derek. You can't. No, you haven't put me to any trouble. I mean, everything's just ready, prepared to go into the oven, and the table's laid. Oh, yes, of course, I understand. Don't I always?
Angela.
Father's given them 2 tickets for the ballet. It's a charity performance. It's very big in charities, Mr. Hawthorne, when he gets his name in the programme.
I'm sorry, love.
Oh, there's just one consolation. Derek can't stand ballet. Why did it have to happen tonight, though?
Oh, it's not just tonight, though, is it, Mavis?
What do you mean?
Well, it's every other time you make arrangements. I mean, it's not the first time he's let you down. It certainly won't be the last.
Oh, I suppose Alan never lets you down. I suppose he's perfect.
No, love. Far from that. But on the whole, he tries to keep his promises.
Well, Derek does too. Well, he tries.
Mavis, he brings you nothing but disappointments. You deserve better than that. Why you hang on to him the way you do, I don't know.
Because I need him, don't I? Oh, and I know you've got no time for him, and I know that you and Alan would just like to see the back of both
now,
of us.
nobody said that.
Well, some things don't need to be said, Rita. I'm not prepared to stay a minute longer where I'm not wanted, Rita. I'd serve my last customer in this shop.